Okay, let's just jump right in. We're about to completely demystify that coffee shop menu. You know the one. It can be super confusing. But by the end of this quick explainer, you're going to be able to order anything with total confidence.
We've all been there, right? You walk into a great little cafe, you look up at the menu board, and bam, you're hit with a dozen different names that all sound kind of the same. Latte, cappuccino, macchiato. What is the actual difference?
It's such a common feeling just staring at that list and wondering if you're about to spend money on something you won't even like. But don't you worry, there's a really simple key to figuring it all out.
And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Because behind all those fancy-sounding names, there's a basic formula, a blueprint if you will. And it all starts with one single powerful ingredient.
And that foundation is espresso. Almost every single hot coffee drink you order from a good cafe begins its life as a shot of espresso. It is our fundamental building block.
So what is it exactly? Well, an espresso isn't just strong coffee. It's made using this really specific process with high-pressure hot water, which pulls an incredible amount of flavor out of the coffee beans in like no time at all.
And it's tiny. A standard single shot is only about 30 milliliters. But seriously, don't let that small size fool you. It packs a major punch when it comes to flavor.
A perfect shot of espresso, it's intense, it's bold, it has this thick, almost syrupy consistency, and that beautiful golden layer on top, that's called the crema. And in its purest form, there's no milk, no extra water, it's just pure, concentrated coffee goodness.
Now that we have our foundation, let's see how we can build on it. This is the blueprint. By just adding one or two other things, we can create that entire menu of drinks.
Let's start with maybe the simplest one, the Americano.
The formula here could not be easier. An Americano is simply a shot of espresso that's been topped up with hot water. This gives you a bigger cup of coffee that still has that rich espresso flavor, but it's way less intense. It's much closer to what you'd think of as a traditional black coffee.
Okay, so that's water. But what happens when we bring milk into the equation? Now this is where the most popular and sometimes the most confusing drinks come from.
And here's the big secret. For the big three, we're talking lattes, cappuccinos, and flat whites. It's all about the proportions. The only thing that's really changing is the ratio of our three key ingredients: espresso, steamed milk, and that lovely milk foam on top.
This chart just lays it all out so clearly. A latte, that's the milkiest drink of the bunch. You've got 1 part espresso, a whole lot of steamed milk, and just a thin little layer of foam. Now, a cappuccino is a classic for a reason. It's all about balance. 1/3 espresso, 1/3 steamed milk, and 1/3 of that thick, airy foam. And the flat white? Well, that's for people who want a stronger coffee flavor. It usually has more espresso, a moderate amount of that silky, smooth milk, and almost no foam at all.
So we've covered hot water and milk. But what happens if we get a little more decadent? What if we add some chocolate into the mix? Then you get a mocha. It's basically a latte with a delicious chocolatey twist. You start with your espresso, mix in some chocolate syrup or cocoa powder, and then top it all off with steamed milk. It is the perfect blend of coffee and hot chocolate. And for anyone who wants something that's strong but still really smooth, there's the Cortado. It's the definition of balance, exactly equal parts espresso and steamed milk, served with very, very little foam. It just cuts the sharpness of the espresso without getting too milky. So far, we've pretty much nailed all the classic hot drinks. But this espresso blueprint, it even extends to cold drinks and, yes, even desserts. And this is a great one because it shows the difference between two super popular cold options. And it all comes down to how they're made. Iced coffee is what most of us know. It's just regular hot brewed coffee that's been cooled down and poured over ice. Cold brew, though, is a whole different ballgame. The grounds are steeped in cold water for a really long time, and that gives you a much smoother, less acidic, and naturally sweeter coffee. And for dessert, the affogato. It's just brilliantly simple. You take a scoop of vanilla ice cream and you drown it, which is actually what affogato means in Italian, with a fresh, hot shot of espresso. The mix of hot and cold, bitter and sweet, it's just incredible. So, let's bring it all back to that blueprint. The most important thing to remember is this. Once you get that espresso is the base, the entire menu just opens up. It's all just a series of simple additions. You want a longer black coffee? Add water. You get an Americano. In the mood for something creamy? Add lots of milk for a latte. Prefer that perfect balance of coffee and foam? That's your cappuccino. You've totally cracked the code. See, the coffee menu isn't a mystery anymore. It's just a list of possibilities. Now that you have the blueprint, you can walk into any cafe and order with the confidence of a pro. So the only question left is, what are you going to order next?